From the Kiss 92.5 studios in Toronto, Canada.
Are you ready?
Ladies and gentlemen,
this is Roz and Mocha.
it's Roz Mocha. What's going on?
Hey guys, this is Bruno Mars.
This is Selena Gomez.
The Chainsmokers.
Lady Gaga.
Calvin Harris.
Celestia Cara.
This is Ed Sheeran.
You're listening to my boys Roz and Mocha.
Roz and Mocha.
My boys Roz and Mocha.
The Roz and Mocha Show.
Between Roz and Mocha, who is your favorite?
Roz. Mocha. I think Mocha. You guys are so funny, man.
Congratulations, Lisa! Wow! You just won $1,000.
That is amazing. Y'all just made my entire morning. Keep it up.
You guys are awesome, man. This is the Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Powered by Air Transat.
I'm so pumped about this. No pun intended. I went a lot of years of my life without having a driver's license. I didn't get a driver's license till I was in my 40s. And
2 years ago.
The one thing that I missed out on that I saw people do when I was a kid that I wish I could do.
Drifting?
No, man. Gas clips are coming back.
Gas clips?
On the nozzle. So when you want to fill up, you can just clip it and then stand there like a cool guy leaning against your car. You don't have to hold the dirty nozzle.
They're coming back, but I thought they got rid of them.
They did 17 years ago.
The reason that once it hit the max that your vehicle could take, it's supposed to just automatically stop.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
There is
Also, people kept driving away with them still attached to their car.
Really?
Yeah, because they forget about it.
There's a Shell gas station near where I live.
Yeah.
That still has those clips.
Really?
Yes.
Because they were illegal for 17 years.
And I used it once.
Yeah? Did you feel awesome? Did you feel cool?
No, because the clip stuck. So when the tank filled, it started to overflow.
See, that's not safe.
And then I had to...
No.
And then I got gasoline all over my sneakers.
Yeah.
I got gasoline all over my hands trying to take the clip
that's not good.
off.
That's not good. That's not good. They say that there was they were removed and banned because drivers were forgetting the nozzles in their car and potentially driving away with them still in the tank. But after 17 years, Petro-Canada has officially brought back the clips to gas stations across the country, except in Quebec, where they are still illegal. The only rule is that you have to stay within 25 feet of your car while the nozzle is in the locked position. Plus, you're not allowed to enter the store until you're finished at the pump. And can I just say something right now to my fellow drivers?
Okay. Mr. Experienced Driver of 2 years?
Yeah, because there's a lot of things that aggravate me. Now that I was...
here we go.
Okay, once I started driving a car, it opened me up to a whole world of things that now drive me crazy.
Here we go.
Okay. Can I just say, when you're at a gas station and you fill your car...
Yes.
First of all, who the hell goes into pay in 2019? That itself is ridiculous. Don't. Now, if you fill your car...
Yes.
And you close it up, you put the nozzle back on the thing and you close your gas tank up and everything else.
Yeah.
You deserve to have your legs broken if you then leave your car in front of a pump, walk into the gas station and stand in line at the Tim Hortons.
Wow.
Yep.
Because you think you have to pull off to the side.
Thank you. Go and park your bloody car. Don't leave it there. That's not a parking space for you to then go in and buy a coffee. Sometimes those lineups at those Tim Hortons and the gas stations...
Oh, they go on forever.
They go on forever.
You're waiting there like 5 minutes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry. Don't leave your car. That's not a parking space. It's not where you park to go in and buy a car or to go in and buy a coffee while you just filled your car. Legs broken. Just saying.
Damn.
Don't actually break somebody's legs if they do that, though. Okay.
Also, you've only been driving for how long?
This is
2
what I'm
years.
saying. And so I'm now aggravated. I obsess about these things. I don't know why anybody in the world would do that. You know how inconsiderate that is to leave your car in front of a pump and go in to buy a coffee?
Well, the times that I have.
No, man. You can't talk your way out of this.
There weren't
Protect your
any
legs,
other
Mocha.
cars. There weren't any other cars at the gas station. There were no lineups of cars waiting to get to the pump that I was using.
Doesn't matter.
So
it's inconsiderate. It's
when
rude.
there's nobody there and there are more than enough pumps available for if a car or a truck or whatever were to drive up, could go and use while I went into
but you
Tim
know what
Hortons
gas
to
stations are like?
grab a
They
coffee.
fill up in a second.
So are you also...
All of a sudden.
Do you also think you should pull off to the side if you want to squeegee your window?
Pull off to the side if you want to squeegee your window.
Because they
What are you
offer the
talking about?
squeegee at the
No,
gas
the squeegee's right there. You're still there. You're still
I know,
working
but
on the
you're
car.
not using the gas pump
No,
at
but
that
you're
point.
Stop it. Don't get me off track.
I will say, in the case where there are cars at every single pump.
Yeah.
At that point, if I do need to get a coffee, I will take the car and park it in front of the gas station, one of the open spots.
What if there's no open spot?
Then I don't get my coffee then.
Thank you. That's the way it should be. No coffee for you. That's the way it should be. That's the way it should be. Hey, after 5 years, Leslie Jones is leaving Saturday Night Live. Sources say that
after 5 years of driving, Roz has got a very strong opinion.
5, please. I'm at what, 2.5? I think I've been driving now for 2.5.
I still don't have my.
I don't have my full G yet, guys.
You still have to have an experienced driver in the passenger seat when you drive?
No. No.
You're not allowed to drive at night.
No. I can still drive at night. I just can't, like, I don't know. I don't even know what I can't do.
Take both hands off the wheel.
I don't have to drive with a parent, Maury. Jesus.
Ma, I gotta go to Home Depot. Can you come with me?
You guys are jerks, man. You know what? This is why I didn't drive until I was 40. I can't take the heat. It's too much heat, man. It's too much heat. Stop it. It's too much heat. Anyway.
Okay. Leslie Jones.
5 years she's leaving the show. Okay? Anyway. Whatever. Jerks.
This is the Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Hi, it's Roz Mocha. What's up?
I just wanted to say that I've been driving for 15 years. So I completely agree with Roz about the Tim Hortons thing. Like, it's not a parking spot. Like, you shouldn't be parking there. Just put your damn gas in and move. Like, other people have stuff to do. And then I also agree with Dan Maury, too. Like, don't sit there and squeegee your car. Like, go through a car wash. It's 2019. Like, what is that dirty squeegee going to do for your window?
First of all, anybody that puts their hand on one of those squeegees, woof.
Yeah, they're pretty gross.
Like,
and the water looks nasty.
It's always dark brown. They never change it.
Yeah,
that's pretty gross.
No, like, believe me, in life, I've learned a few things in life from all my travels and years on this planet. And that is, if you see something and it looks like a urinal, it's probably been used as a urinal before.
100%. I can agree with you with there. I haven't been as much experience as you, but I can tell you that water is disgusting. So get out of the way.
That's why I don't use the squeegee, and I never drink from a punch bowl.
That's hilarious.
Hashtag that ain't eggnog.
That's
awesome.
Disgusting. That is disgusting. Thanks so much for calling in today.
Have a great day, guys.
This is the Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Time to go through some of these Apple Podcast reviews that we've got. Love the fact that you guys take the time to sit down and write very thoughtful notes to us and throw us 5 stars. Yep. Again, we get these on Apple Podcasts, so if you've not yet left a review or a rating, feel free to do so. Okay, Marcos 2000. Subject line is the best. Gave us 5 stars. I listen to the podcast every day when I take the bus to school for about 2 hours. Wish there's more podcast release and more than just the 2 days. Mocha is my favorite. So thank you very much, Marcos 2000. Huh? Yeah, it's. I mean, listen.
Sure, I hear you.
It's what was written.
You're not going to edit the man's content.
CK Solutions, right? Smooth, cool podcast as the subject line. Been listening to the radio show for years. The podcast helps me get through the day at work. So thank you for that. Lila writes this. I love you guys. I listen to the show in the morning on my way to work, and I binge the podcast on my way home. There's some crazy drivers in Brampton, Ontario, and I find myself yelling at them every day. Listening to your podcast makes me laugh so hard, and I just ignore those idiots. Thank you for all that you guys do. You're the greatest thing to ever happen to radio. Claudia Nakla writes this. The subject line is, how hippos poop.
Oh, excuse me.
I died laughing at Roz vividly describing hippos helicopter poop.
Oh, yeah, that's right, because they helicopter poop. Right.
Love you guys, and the podcast was a lifesaver while on maternity leave and needing some entertainment, as for the first time in my life, I found myself missing my drive to work. So if you're listening to the show outside of Toronto, the Roz and Mocha Show is on Kiss 92.5, Monday to Friday, 6 to 10 a.m. Eastern. Mm-hmm. You can listen, kiss925.com. Also want to give a shout out to new Roz and Mocha listeners. We welcome you to the Roz and Mocha family from Edmonton, because we launched the show in Edmonton finally on Kiss 91.7. So if you are listening to the Roz and Mocha Show for the first time and you're joining us right now, this is like episode 98. So you have 97 more episodes to get caught up on. for the Roz and Mocha Show. So get on Apple Podcasts, leave your rating and or review. We can't thank you enough for that. And we'll continue to read your reviews on the Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
So Jason Mamoa got stuck in an elevator in Vancouver. And I guess he was in there with like 5 other people and a dog for like hours.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And
you ever been stuck in an elevator?
Yeah, I have actually.
Yeah?
Yeah.
For how long? Do you remember?
Like 40 minutes.
Yeah, I was stuck in an elevator here in this building for an hour.
Were you really?
And it was like 2 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, that's scary. Were you alone?
No, it was one other dude.
Oh, let's see. I don't know if I'd like that, man. That's when I started having real terrible thoughts. And speaking of those terrible thoughts, so if you listen to the audio, because he just did a bunch of Insta stories while he was in there, Jason Mamoa, I don't know at what point, but at some point, they all start talking about who they would eat first if it came to that. It's hard to hear, but trust me.
Fire department doesn't want to show up.
They just said,
hey!
Yeah, that's what we're thinking.
Get us out. Yeah, bro. Oh, shit.
What's like you get We've been on here for what, a half hour? 2 hours, bro. You're conservative with your M&M's, bro.
I'm sorry, bro. I'm going to kill you. I'm come down to this guy.
I can't really.
I'm sitting here kind of hungry. You guys have to mostly hungry. Look,
I'm going to eat you first, bro.
Yeah. Jason Mamoa says, I'm going to eat you first. That's all you need.
Yeah, you offer up that arm to Aquaman.
So what did you do, Maury? Maury went in an elevator and tried to get people to commit that if they did get stuck, they would not eat him.
Oh, God.
Maury, honestly, if we got stuck on an escalator, I would eat you.
Okay, promise me that if we get stuck in this elevator, you won't eat me first.
I don't plan to eat you, even if we're stuck. I think I can survive quite a few days without eating.
Can I have your word you're not going to eat me first?
I'm a vegetarian. You got my word.
Oh,
so I can eat you first.
I'm not very filling, though. But yes, sure. Knock yourself out.
Can I have your word you won't eat me first?
I don't know if I can commit to that.
Why not?
Depends on how hungry we both are.
Ooh, okay, well, I'm not meaty.
Every man for themselves.
Yeah, you are.
Okay, I'm in the elevator with 2 men. If we get stuck in this elevator, can I have your word you're not going to eat me first?
Yes, you have my word.
So who's eating who?
Probably I would eat my husband since I'm pregnant.
Okay, can I have your word? What about you?
Yes, I'm a vegetarian.
Okay, so what are we going to do? Oh, I get to eat you.
I think I'm a goner.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty much it. I'm just going to lie down and just...
But you're not bulky, so
you're not going to get a lot out of me, but it will last you for a while if you hit that little emergency button. So,
how long we're going to be in the elevator?
What if it's 3 hours?
I won't eat you first.
4 hours.
Couple of days, maybe.
Yeah. Where are you going to be? I'm not bulky.
Well, I'll find some meaty parts.
By the digits. I'll take my digits first.
You're going to eat yourself?
Yes. Ew. Well, I'll have still the palm of my hand left.
You're desperate. Yeah. Or you just really don't want to eat me.
You asked me to promise.
Man, I don't know where you were, Maury, but there's a lot of passive people. Yeah. Not one of these people had an ounce of fight in them.
No, not at all.
Like, where were you? There was not 1 ounce of fight in any. There was not one sense of survival in any of those people.
It was like a hotel elevator.
First of all, I don't know how. Could you imagine you check into a hotel, you come to Toronto for the first time, you get into an elevator at the hotel, and Maury's in there going, "Can I eat you first?"
Here we go.
The Roz and Mocha Show
podcast.
I guess the last day in the city for the old school streetcars is Monday.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's only 2.
Yeah. Are they both on Queen?
Yeah, they're both going to be running on Queen on Monday afternoon if you want to go and take a photograph.
Yeah, and I guess...
And for free.
Yeah, it's free for riders on Monday between 2 and 5.
I think that you're missing the point that this is a moment in history.
I'm describing exactly that.
But
how do you want me to present this story?
Like as though it's a big thing.
All right, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Guys.
Yeah.
There are only 2 more old streetcars, and then there are no more old streetcars.
It's exactly the way I said it. If you're going to do something like over the top, then make it over the top. But you literally just said the same thing I did, but only you used poor grammar. Here we go.
Yeah.
Okay, you ready?
And your lungs
Yeah.
collapsed. Go.
Okay.
Yeah, man. Listen, you better not go. I'm worried about you, Maury. I always worry on a long weekend because it's an extra day of not seeing Maury.
Oh,
gives him an extra day to pass away from natural causes.
Yeah, because I'm allowed to have one cider. Okay, here we go.
Right.
Guys, there's only 2 old streetcars. And on Monday, there will be no more old streetcars.
What makes them old? I don't know. I can't picture them in my.
They're the ones that are smaller.
The
new
regular
ones are
streetcars.
long. They're old.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the new
regular.
streetcars.
Yeah.
Okay, so the new streetcars are going to now be the only streetcars.
Oh, okay.
What you're normally used to as streetcars will cease to exist.
You know the ones without air conditioning?
Sure.
Okay,
Yeah, those.
and because Maury screwed this up so bad, thank you, Maury.
Yeah, no problem.
It's Monday is when they will provide free service to riders.
That's what I said.
No, you didn't. And that is going to be along Queen from 2 to 5. So I guess if you want to go and take one last ride on one of the old
my God, I'm gonna
streetcar,
Yeah.
you're gonna cry.
Wait,
Touch
so
them all,
where?
Joe.
What?
Touch them all, Joe. Are you seriously crying over streetcars right now?
But because I'm thinking about being a child sitting on those streetcars. And
When was the last time you went on one of them streetcars?
I mean, that's like years ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
and
I
up
see
until
them.
this story came out, you had not thought about either of those 2 streetcars at all.
They were in your life. You didn't know that they were going to be gone.
Just give me 1 second, Mocha. What was it about when you were a kid, more, and being on that streetcar that brings up so much emotion?
Like sitting there with my dad, going to like a ball game.
Yeah. And what do you think about when you think about that? Like, what hits you?
How like I won't be able to sit on that with my dad anymore, and what like immediately thinking like I have that memory and others don't.
Why do you think that memory stayed with you?
Because it's such a great memory, and I love my dad.
Yeah.
You know, and like when the streetcars are gone, there goes my memories with it.
Right.
And if they destruct the streetcars, they're tearing apart my memories.
When's the last time you told your dad this?
About the streetcars?
No, just about this in general. That you even have these memories of them.
But we don't talk like that. We're men.
Why not?
Just because, like, you know, it's embarrassing.
Why is it embarrassing?
Because it's like he'll judge me for loving him.
You think so?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
And now with the oh my God, the streetcars.
Full tears. Full tears. How long did that take me? Is that a new record for me? Is that a new record? How long did that take me?
That was literally 62 seconds.
Can we get
Actually,
one more?
less than that.
Can we get one more, like another week of them, the streetcars? Take them away.
One more week? Come on, man.
Here we go.
The Roz and Mocha Show
Podcast.
You know how I feel about rules when it comes to drinking. It drives me crazy.
Sure.
Right? When you go to Europe, you realize how well they live. And I'm not saying that life should revolve around alcohol, but you can go and grab like a baguette and a nice dip and a bottle of wine and go and sit in the park and just enjoy yourself as an adult. You can't do that here. It drives me crazy.
As a responsible adult.
I was hanging with 3 homeless guys.
When?
2 weekends ago.
Uh-huh.
And it's been on my mind. It's been killing me. Because,
Where, in the city?
Yeah, in the city. So I was down by, I had to take the train, so I was just down at Union Station.
Okay.
But like by Bremner, in like where Jurassic Park is.
Sure.
Right?
Scotiabank Arena.
Scotiabank Arena. And there's this one homeless guy who recognized me and sat down and we started talking. And then his 2 buddies came up and then we were all just like hanging out talking.
So you never met them before?
No. We were just chilling. I had like a half hour to kill and these guys, they were just kicking it.
They just had all day to kill.
And one of them I had seen 10 minutes earlier in the LCBO.
Yeah.
Because I went into the LCBO to grab a couple cans of cider, and then he went in the LCBO to buy 2 cans of, I don't know, like Wildcat or whatever the cheap beer is. I don't know. Right?
Yeah. Whatever, man. Do you.
Okay, but it was, there was an event happening at Air Canada Centre. And so it was beautiful out. It was like a Saturday afternoon, and we were all sitting there. And one of these dudes reaches into his bag and he pulls out a can of beer and he cracks it. And I was like, all right, let's party. So I reach into my bag and I pull out a cider, I crack it, and we're just sitting there hanging, right?
You guys cheers?
Yeah, we're just chilling, right? Yeah, we're all having a drink. It's beautiful outside. Summer. And then 3 fans of this show walk up who were going to the event that night. They start talking to us. So now there's like 7 of us.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Here we go.
And we're all hanging out, having a drink.
Laughing, talking.
And,
Sure.
the 3 fans that were going to the event that night pull out a joint.
Okay.
And they just start blazing.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm like, okay, we got a party now.
now we get things going.
Now we got things going.
Here's how you kick off a weekend.
Yeah, we're having a great time. We're laughing like it's crazy. We're having such a wonderful time.
And just
me
super
these
casual.
dudes. Oh, me and these dudes. So great. Doesn't security come over? Doesn't security come over?
Break up the party?
No.
Don't. Come on.
They threatened to remove the guys that were drinking.
What?
Because you're allowed to smoke weed.
Oh, yeah, I guess.
And I'm like, what the hell kind of world is this now? Where
So hold on.
you
So
got
like
three guys having a beer, right? And security walks up and they walk in between three guys having a beer and three guys smoking a huge joint.
Yeah.
Don't even acknowledge their existence.
But what did the security say to you?
That if we don't throw them in the garbage right now, we will be removed from the premises and banned from the premises.
What'd you say?
Outside. We all just chugged our beers and threw them in the trash, and then we just continued on with our party. But I was like, the dude smoking the joint.
But that's legal, though.
Yeah, but so's drinking. I should be allowed. If you can stand outside and smoke a giant joint with your friends.
But was this person the security guard?
It was three security guards.
Were they young or old?
Mix. Complete mix. Complete mix.
Here's my whole thing, though, right?
Yeah.
Like, if you weren't bothering other people, you weren't causing a nuisance, you weren't being excessively, like, you weren't being belligerent, you weren't causing a scene, you're just hanging out. The only difference is that three of you had drinks in your hand.
Yes.
Like, I don't understand what the problem would be. Just like outside of...
because
like I know the law, quote unquote, the law.
Yeah.
You can't drink in public, whatever, right?
Sure, yeah.
But like if if you're seeing you guys just like having a good time and not bothering anyone and not getting in the way of anything and not like stumbling, falling into traffic, just let it be, right?
Let me just tell you, right? Like we always say, just be a good person, right? Like just be a good person. Don't be so nitpicky. Don't grind people's gears. Don't go out of your way to just be disruptive for the sake of being disruptive. But when you see 7 guys standing around, 3 of them are clearly going to an event because they're wearing the t-shirts for that event.
Yeah.
One of them is famous. That was me. And 3 of them are clearly homeless guys. When
Now
you were in a city the size of Toronto, if you were any sort of authority figure and you walk by and you see that group of people all getting along, having a laugh, your first instinct is to not think about banning people from that area because somebody's drinking a beer.
That's sad.
It's such nonsense to me. But yeah, I was like, oh my God, I'm the guy smoking the joint is now the one who's ignored.
Yeah.
Right? It's like in that group, they're the Maury and I'm the me.
This is the Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Air Transat flies to over 60 destinations in 26 countries, and they got direct flights, which is a big deal, to 26 destinations in Europe.
Yeah, fly to Croatia, Paris, Athens, Dublin, Italy, Amsterdam, Portugal, Spain, London, and so many more places, man.
Of course, as we always say, when you book with Air Transat, you're already on vacation. So just cruise their website, airtransat.com. Take a look at all the pictures, all the hotels, and just start mapping out your next dream vacation. Because again, over 60 destinations in 26 countries.
And we can't say this enough, especially when going to Europe, and that is the 26 destinations in Europe that have direct flights.
Yeah, almost unheard of.
Okay, 26 with direct flights.
Airtransat.com. Air Transat vacation is calling.
All right, let's take a phone call.
Hello.
Hey, it's Roz Mocha.
Hey, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good.
Okay, what's your name?
I'm Julie.
Julie. Roz?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, Julie is like madly in love with you.
Oh, snap.
Julie
obviously.
texted, it's my birthday tomorrow, and my hubby and I are celebrating our 10-year anniversary next week.
Next week, yes.
I'm so happy I share an anniversary with the 3 best men in the whole world. My hubby, Roz and Mocha, ... Not you, Maury. Sorry.
Oh, wow. Jeez.
P.S. Roz is delicious AF. Oh! Followed by, if Roz could say happy birthday to me in his sexy, delicious voice, I would melt into a puddle.
I would.
Where are you right now, Julie?
Thank you.
I'm just at home getting ready for work.
Okay, but where, like, specifically in your home?
I'm in my room.
Okay.
You're in your room. Are you...
Stop it.
Are you sitting? Are you standing? Are you laying down?
Standing.
Oh, I'm sitting.
Okay.
Sitting back and taking it easy, yeah.
Okay. So here's what I want you to do.
Okay.
Take a deep breath. Close your eyes.
Okay.
Okay, you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, here we go.
Okay, Roz, I'm ready.
Happy birthday, Julie.
Thank you, Roz.
Look at Maury's the happiest person in the world right now. That was Maury that did that, Julie. That was Maury that did it. You know what? I knew this was going to fail. I knew it. I brought Maury in thinking that you were going to recognize immediately that it was not my sultry voice saying happy birthday. And when it comes right down to it, there's no difference. You thought that creepy thing was me?
I thought you were trying to do like a weird, sexy kind of voice.
Oh, weirdly sexy. Sexy's in that.
Did you find it weirdly sexy?
It was kind of weird and creepy. But
Yeah. Okay.
That's Maury, all right. Weird and creepy.
Okay. Well, happy birthday, Julie. And we love you lots. And thank you so much for being a huge fan. And we hope you have the best day ever.
Oh, and happy 10-year anniversary with your husband, Julie.
Thank you. Same to you guys.
Do you want to
too.
say anything to your husband since you're on the radio with us right now?
Yeah, I love you, I guess.
Oh, damn. You showed way more affection for Roz than you did for your own husband of 10 years.
I love you, I guess.
God, that's so weird. Happy birthday, Julie. We love you.
Thanks, love you guys too. Bye.
Here we go.
The Roz and Mocha Show
Podcast.
Let me read you this headline. NASA investigating. First crime committed in space.
What?
So NASA's investigating what may be the first crime committed in outer space. Astronaut Anne McClain is accused of identity theft and improperly accessing her estranged wife's private financial records while on a 6-month mission on the International Space Station.
What else are you going to do up there?
The astronaut's spouse, Summer Warden, filed a complaint earlier this year with the Federal Trade Commission after learning McClain had accessed her bank account without permission. So here's a clip right now of the ex-Summer Warden.
USA Financial did give evidence to my attorneys that she did access my bank account. I was shocked and appalled at kind of the audacity of her to think that she could get away with that. And I was also very disheartened that I couldn't keep anything private.
So here's what I want to ask right now. And this is, you can do this anonymously, but you need to give up the goods because I need to know how vulnerable we are to stealth spying by an ex. So it's at this point that you need to educate everybody on how and the ways that you can stealth spy on an ex. The things that we do that leave us vulnerable for people like you to be able to still tap into our lives when we don't want you in our lives anymore.
Oh, wow.
Maury, I'm just walking in this room right now.
What do you have to say about all this?
Stealth spying on an ex, Maury, go. Real quick.
Very easy. Okay, use a burner account to follow them on Instagram.
Okay, that's one.
Okay, try logging into their Gmail. Maybe their password hasn't been changed.
Wow, that's two.
Okay, and install a keystroke application on their computer so that you can see what it is that they're typing.
So presumably, while you were still together, you would be a terrible boyfriend by installing
knowing what's to come.
Oh my God. Okay, so this
Wait,
is where...
how is it that you rhymed out all those things? Like, quick, no hiccups, no mistakes.
You got to be an expert on something.
Okay, so you have to give it up right now if you're listening. This is for educational purposes only, and you can do it anonymously.
Unless your name's Maury Sherman.
Right.
Roz and Mocha's Fix My Life.
What advice can you guys give me?
Okay, so my question is...
Got a problem you can't fix?
Roz and Mocha got you.
Hi, Chelsea. How are you?
Hey, I'm good, thanks. How are you doing?
Good. It's Roz and Mocha. All right, here we go.
Hi.
No, Chelsea wrote us this. Roz and Mocha Fix My Life. I have a friend who has recently become really toxic, or maybe she's been like that all along. I just didn't realize it, and I flat out want to cut her off for a number of different reasons. The issue is her best friend is my boss, and she will make my life a living hell if I do. Do you know that the boss will make your life a living hell?
Yeah, 100%. One time I did try to discontinue talking to her, and I just got treated like absolute garbage. So that's why I say that.
Oh, is there an option for you to find? I mean, not that you should have to find another job, but that sounds like a terrible person to want to have to work for.
She is like, you know, Mean Girl. She's literally Regina George.
Okay, so let's go. Jesus. Let's go through what makes this friend of yours so toxic.
So basically, she's very self-absorbed, which by all means, anyone can be self-centered as long as they're like kind about it, but she's not like she's the type of person where you'll tell her something about yourself and then somehow she'll twist it and turn it around about herself or a guy. And all she cares about is boys. That's it. Nothing else.
Okay.
Nothing.
How old are you, Chelsea?
I'm 26.
Oh, wow.
And she's older. She's older.
She's older?
All right. So why do you keep hanging out with her for?
Because of the boss thing. I'm trapped. I'm literally like a little ant, and my boss is sitting on an anthill with like the magnifying glass burning me.
You feel like you have to continue your relationship, your friendship with this person that you don't want to be friends with for the sake of your job?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. I get it.
Wow.
I get that. It's a tough move to make.
What happens if she texts you and says, "Hey, let's go hang out this weekend," and you reply, "No, I'm busy," or "I'd love to, but I can't"? What is her reply to you then?
Okie dokie. And then she's just dry.
How often are you hanging out with her, or are you expected to hang out with her? You girls are weird with your obligations to hang out with friends. Like, I don't know if guys go through that thing where you look at somebody and go, ugh. And you go, what? You go, ugh, I got to hang out with Mitch tonight. And I'm like, why are you acting like that? You sound like you don't want to hang out with Mitch. Ugh, if I don't, then it's just never going to end and I got to go. And like, guys don't do that, right?
It's a big thing.
Yeah, it's a big thing. And like,
and then next time we see each other, it's so weird.
It's so weird. And they're going to talk about me when I get up to go pee. And like, guys don't do that.
That's literally my life.
Yeah, that's a women thing. So what happens if you just sort of cut this girl out of your life?
Well, I haven't tried to do that in a very long time, just because I just don't have the energy to like entertain it. So I do talk to her, but I was going through a health thing, and I told her that it kind of went downhill, which it's good now. Yeah. But her response to that was, "Oh well, good luck with that." And then she went and started talking about a guy, and I'm like, "Oh my god!" I'm like, "I can't with this one."
She doesn't sound like she's a very good friend to begin
not
with,
at all.
right? Like, I would, you're not going to get anywhere if you just avoid her. You know, like if you just keep making excuses to not hang out, all that other stuff. I think that if you're going to cut somebody out of your life, you have to have a conversation about it.
Oh, God. You're right, though.
I think you do. And I think that you know that you do.
Yeah. She's just trying to find an alternate route to...
Yeah. And then you got to treat it like a breakup. You got to be blunt, but, compassionate. And you got to unfollow them on everything. You can't be creeping your toxic friend.
Chelsea, what would happen if you, started unfollowing her on Instagram or Snapchat or something?
Listen, gentlemen, I literally deactivated my account and I got a text message immediately. She must have that app that tells you when someone unfollows you. So I'm like, oh my God, I deactivated. Chill out, man.
Yeah. Jeez. Sounds like your
But
friends.
I'm going to do that.
Maury, are you Chelsea's friend? Because it sounds a whole lot like she's describing Maury.
Everything that you are talking about right now, Chelsea, are things that we have to deal with Maury on a daily basis.
Oh, no, Maury.
I think you're going to have a conversation with her, and it's going to be a tough conversation. And as far as the boss goes, I wouldn't approach the boss with any of this, just simply because I don't think that you want to involve a terrible friendship with a person that you're not even that close to and don't really care that much about into your work environment, even though they're friends.
Yeah, well, she doesn't even work here anymore.
Oh, okay. Well,
it's nuts.
Who, the friend doesn't live here anymore?
Yeah, she doesn't work here. She doesn't live here.
Oh, she doesn't work
None
there
of that.
anymore. Okay. Yeah, so I would do that. And then don't hang out with her anymore. But when you do, have a conversation with her. Be straight up and tell her that, how you feel and some of the things that she does that maybe you don't like yourself when you're hanging around her. You don't like what you become. That's a terrible thing to say, but if that's the truth, then that's the truth. And then also you could say that, you have a lot of things that you need from people in your life and you don't feel that, she's kind of there for you and that you're her friend, but she's not really your friend.
Yeah, you're right. That's it. to a T.
Yeah, she needs you way more than you need her.
Yeah, you know the answer. You know what to do. You just were kind of like looking for options.
Yeah.
I was like, maybe we'll find something else soon. But yeah, that's it.
You're going to have to tell her straight up that you're going to unfollow her, because otherwise, if she has those programs on her phone like what Maury has, then she's going to know anyway. So,
And then the passive aggressive text start. Oh no!
So you just got to. I would just be straight up with her.
You guys have been awesome. Thank you so much.
All right, love you lots. Bye-bye.
Roz and Mocha's Fix My Life.
On Kiss 92.5.
Did you watch the trailer for the Travis Scott Netflix documentary?
Yes. Did you? Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Somebody sent that to me.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So at a minute 20 in the Travis Scott Netflix special documentary, which actually drops tomorrow.
Yeah.
You hear like different announcers, newscasters saying different things about Travis Scott, things that have recently made the news.
Yeah.
And the very first time I heard it, I was like, that voice sounds familiar.
Album of the year.
Travis Scott was confirmed to be part of the halftime show.
He knew what he was getting into. He knew the controversy.
I was like, yo, that's Roz's voice.
Yeah.
Roz's voice is in the Travis Scott Netflix documentary.
Yes.
And they used it in the trailer.
Travis Scott was confirmed to be part of the halftime show.
Oh!
That's the second time. When did somebody else use a clip of me for something? What? Mariah. That's right. Mariah used a clip of during her live show, right? Yeah, I was part of the.
I was like, oh my god, I know that voice.
Yeah, Travis Scott was confirmed to be part of the halftime show.
So that is obviously from ET Canada.
Yeah. But yeah, so Mariah, I was part of Mariah's video montage during her concert. And they got it right. It's so funny how they do it, because I was like,
you said something mean, right?
Well, I was trying to make a point, but I was saying something not that nice about Mariah. And I'm not going to repeat it because I don't want to deal with the lambs all day.
Yeah.
All right.
You have that clip, Maury?
I got nothing but fun stuff to say about Mariah and everybody else. Nothing. I love them all, man.
Oh, okay.
I'm not dealing with stands all day, bro. But this Travis Scott thing, I don't even remember ever talking about Travis Scott, to be honest with you. But that's what they do. These production companies, they just go and they scour everything, and then they just find clips to use regardless of the context.
So they don't have to ask you, right?
I don't know what those rules are.
Over at ET Canada?
No, I didn't ask anybody.
You don't get like a little kickback or anything?
Well, no. I first of all, I don't think I would be the one getting kicked out. Maybe I would be the one getting kicked back. It's my voice.
It is your voice. Like
Travis Scott was confirmed to be part of the halftime show. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what happens when somebody takes you and then they put you in the trailer for their movie. Like, I don't know what the rules are about that. Or I don't know what happens when somebody like Mariah Carey grabs a clip of me and uses it on tour for a year. Like, I don't know what the recourse is. I don't think there's anything. I think it's public domain at that point.
Yeah.
They didn't use the logo. They didn't say that. I don't know. I don't know what the rules are.
Well,
I'm happy to. It's fine. I got no problem with it. It looks like the Travis Scott documentary looks dope.
It starts off with Travis Scott performing, and there's like maybe 15 people.
Yeah.
And it looks like he's on like a festival stage at a major show where they put new upcoming acts on like a side stage.
Yes.
And then he's watching the footage on his phone like years later, counting like how many people. And then they immediately flash to what his concerts are like now.
Right.
Where it's just like thousands in a sold out arena.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's interesting. I don't know a lot about Travis. Like I know him and his music, but I don't know sort of his story. And the trailer, aside from my bit in it, is very compelling. Now, you add my bit in the trailer.
Right.
Travis Scott was confirmed to be part of the halftime show. To me, that sounds like an Academy Award-winning documentary, bro.
You gonna be there on stage accepting with them?
Yeah,
like if you get the invite?
Yes.
But that Travis Scott documentary, it's called Look Mom, I Can Fly. It's on Netflix tomorrow.
This is the Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
How was the VMAs last night?
The VMAs are always...
Miley made everybody cry, I heard.
Yeah, hit and miss for me.
Yeah.
Because I get to see all my favorite artists and like people who I'm pumped to see perform, like Missy. Yeah. Missy did a great job.
Oh,
Missy's
that's
always...
I'll tell you, the problem with inviting somebody like Missy Elliott to your show is that she's going to take over the show.
And she really did with her performance.
Yes.
Like, I didn't expect the level of visuals that Missy offered on that VMA stage last night that it kind of put everybody else to shame.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. But that's what happens. That's why you give her that award, though.
The Vanguard Award.
Yeah.
Yes. And she ran through all of her biggest hits, and it was crazy. And it just didn't, I liked her I loved her performance.
Yeah.
And I really liked Shawn Mendes and Camila Cabello's performance.
Now they did not kiss,
They
right?
did not,
Man,
but they got close enough a couple
on.
times,
Yeah.
and they ended the performance. She gave him the little nose rub. It was real nice.
No,
That was the hottest thing I've seen in a long time.
The problem
Was it hot though? Was it hot? Did you think it was hot, Mocha?
It was sexy.
Sexy.
Because it's what could they do? That's what made it sexy.
Yeah, but you know what
you know what they could do.
You know what they could do.
It's like, what are they going to do?
They're two young, gorgeous-bodied humans in the prime of their life with like
millionaires
But
with
there's
access
nothing
to everything in the
sexier.
world. Like they could do anything.
No, but there's nothing sexier than the almost kiss.
Yeah, and they almost kissed like enough times during that performance.
You know what's sexier than the almost kiss more? You got a weird marriage, man.
Yeah.
Because kissing is way sexier than almost kissing.
A kiss.
Yeah, man. I don't know who did you wrong, but almost kissing is not nearly as sexy
his husband
as kissing.
Matthew. No, but my problem is the fact that first of all, the audio.
The whole
and it was the entire production.
Yeah.
The audio was not synced with what was happening on the screen, so everything
That's a problem.
was delayed by like half a second. So just visually, it looked weird when people were talking or singing.
And on your TV, did the Missy Elliott thing, did they come back from commercial and she was halfway through a song? Or was that just my
No,
TV?
they didn't do an intro for her. They came out of the commercial break, and it was just Missy on stage with dancers ready to do the very first song.
Oh.
There was no like big, she's this and she's that. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Missy Elliott.
Right.
They didn't do that. They just came out of commercial break and went straight into Missy's performance.
Because who hosted it? People had a hard time with Sebastian, right?
I like that guy. I've
Yeah.
seen a couple of his stand-up shows on Netflix.
Sebastian Maniscalco.
He's funny.
I think he's funny. I like that guy. I don't know why.
I think just because not enough people know who he is. Though.
I know, but if you just see his like box cover on Netflix and you sort of know just through osmosis who he is.
Yeah.
So what was he? He was goofing on millennials. Is that the deal?
Yeah. Hold on, let me find it here.
I love it.
On influencers.
I am so glad to be here. I've been here for a week in New Jersey. I'm from Los Angeles, where everybody's riding around in a bird scooter, taking photos of themselves in front of a wall, and everybody with an iPhone apparently is an influencer. Now listen, New Jersey doesn't have time for that, all right? Jersey has had one influencer for the past 40 years, and that's Bruce Springsteen.
Funny, right? They were heavy on the Jersey stuff because that's where the show was last night.
But play me one of the clips where he was goofing on safe spaces and stuff.
Oh, that one.
That's where people were having a hard time with him.
This is happening for the first time. MTV, what they're doing is they notice that we're living in ultra-sensitive time, right? So if you feel triggered or you feel offended by anything I'm saying up here or anything the musical artists are doing, they're providing a safe space backstage where you get some stress balls and a blankie. And also, Lil Nas X brought his horse, which will, horse is backstage, which will double as an emotional support animal.
What's wrong with that? I thought he was funny, man.
But everybody gets offended over that. People get offended over
Other than the audio problems, like, I don't know, just the show, it's just written.
Sure.
It's not for me. It's written poorly, in my opinion.
Sure.
I think they should speed it up with the going from performer to award. There's too much of a long gap of nonsense in between each thing, which they could have taken that 3-hour show and chopped it right down to like 2 and just do performance award, performance award, performance award.
Yeah.
This is the Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
So did Myla make everybody cry last night? Is that the deal?
Oh, she did.
Yeah.
Yeah. With her song Slide Away.
She's got like a new girlfriend and stuff like that. Like she moved from second to first real fast.
Yeah, she's dating, allegedly, Brody Jenner's ex-wife.
Yes.
Caitlyn.
Jeez.
Which, kind of weird that at one point in their lives, there were two Caitlyn Jenners in Brody's life.
Oh, yeah. That's weird.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, he even addressed it in the show The Hills.
Yeah.
Where he was like...
So when Bruce Jenner transitioned, was he with Caitlyn? So did Bruce Jenner take the name of
Brody's wife?
Yeah.
I believe so.
Really, huh?
I think. I could be wrong.
Interesting.
I don't know the timeline.
That's a move.
Of when Brody was dating his ex-wife, Caitlyn, before they got married.
Because I know there was years and years and years ago where there was a girl that I met whose name was Diane, which is my mom's name.
Yeah.
And we never went anywhere. We went out on one date, but I was always in the back of my head, I'm like, God, man, it'd be weird to date somebody whose name is one of your parents. But then when you start dating somebody named Caitlyn and, you look around the family and you're like, all right, I'm in the clear. And then Bruce transitions and he takes your wife's name.
Yeah.
Messes it all up, man.
Yeah.
I did it to Frank once.
Yeah, you did. Maury's dad, Frank.
So I would never date anyone that had either of my sister's names.
No.
I would never, that to me is extra, could have been dope, super hot.
And you never would.
But
and the problem
if I was like, girl, what is your name? And if she ever said either Laura or Lisa, I would.
But those are two common names.
Very common names.
Bye, Felicia.
I know, but those are very.
I would rather Felicia.
I know, but you're thinning the herd a
you got
lot.
rid of almost 40% of the population.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't go as far as 40%.
40% more?
So
Show me your math.
Okay, yeah.
Because it's two names.
Half the
and they're both
population
common.
is Lisa. You know how confusing the world would be, Maury? Maury, if 40% of the people on the planet were named Lisa?
Make things easier.
You know how confusing that would be? Try finding an old friend on Facebook. It'd be impossible.
Showing results, 1 of 5 billion. All right, so Miley Cyrus on the VMAs last night performing Slide Away.
Once upon a time it was made for us. Woke up one day and it turned to dust. Baby, we were found, but now we're lost. So it's time to let it go. I want my house in the hills. Don't want the whiskey and pills. I don't give up easily, but I don't think I'm down. Back to the ocean I'll go. Back to the city life. Back to the ocean.
I just want Miley to kind of stay in this lane, or singing lane. I don't like rapping Miley, like goofy kind of rapping Miley. This is my favorite Miley. She got a great voice, man.
Yeah, she killed it.
Slide away. Once upon a time it was paradise. Once upon a time I was paralyzed. I think I'm gonna miss.
Yeah, dude, that's such a good song.
But it's time to let it go.
Oh, so good.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, so good. God, she's I'm with you though. Singing Miley, that is, to me, Malibu Miley's my favorite Miley.
Yeah.
That's my favorite Miley song. I mean, I like Wrecking Ball, I like all that stuff, but I'm with you that she has sort of two different sides to her. And one of them, I'm really not that interested in. I don't have that thing where I find that appealing. But this Miley, as soon as she does this stuff, she's on top for me of that entire world.
I agree.
On top of that entire world.
Yeah, she could I don't know. I think she needs to drop the kind of gimmicky.
Yeah. She does every now and then. I'm
Quote,
oh my
unquote,
God, she changed. And
fun. She tries to be fun.
Yeah.
But
To
in
me, this is
comparison
fun.
to this, this is way better.
No, she's so good.
This is the Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
So did Demi Lovato skip the VMAs last night because Taylor Swift?
What?
Mm-hmm.
Don't tell me Demi and
Yes, they are.
Taylor got beef.
Yes, they do.
No, they don't. Over
yes,
what?
Scooter Braun.
Oh.
So Demi.
Demi is Team Scoots.
Yes. So Demi wrote on Insta, I skipped the VMAs for a all caps reason. And I just hate award shows.
Oh, wow.
Because
Damn, bro.
Demi signed with Scooter in May. And when all the Taylor stuff was happening, where she basically called him the devil, Demi wrote on Insta, "I've dealt with bad people in this industry and Scooter is not one of them. He's a good man." So Demi skips the award show last night because Taylor Swift. So
she
now,
blamed it on her evil twin, Boot Lovato.
So now it's Demi versus Taylor.
Ooh, I mean, come on.
As opposed to
Taylor can win that battle.
Right, I know.
Come on, Demi. We love you and everything.
Yeah, I know.
You got like banging tracks, but
yeah, it's not. It's,
as of right now, in this moment,
yeah. Also,
Taylor got the wins.
I know, but and also like you're gonna die on the hill for Scooter Braun.
No, you can't do that.
Like, you can't.
That's not a battle. Like,
I get it. Like I get he's your manager, and you think he's a good guy and everything else. But all managers are still slimy. Like they're still slimy. You can't go to war over Scooter Braun.
Like Scooter. Listen, if it came to at the end of the day, it's always about dollars, right?
Of course.
And if it came down to it, Scooter would drop Demi
100%.
Seconds.
Yes.
Like there's zero loyalty.
No, that's business. So to sort of go on that and to publicly
even still, that's
publicly though. It's these public sort of declarations of righteousness or explanation. She could have just not gone. And it would have been fine.
And just say she was busy.
You'd have to say anything.
No, like if anybody asked. Like, hey.
Sure.
But like, I don't think anybody, like who asked?
Sure, nobody asked.
Like that room was full of people.
Yes.
Like who was looking around? Like I wasn't, they showed.
It's to just say, I skipped the VMAs for a quote, all caps reason, which is just so clearly Taylor Swift.
Like the amount of times they showed the Hadid sisters.
Yeah.
On screen last night at the VMAs. Not once did I ever see either of them mouth, "Where's Demi?"
Yeah, no, nobody. You don't have to go. Like you're just, and she's had a hell of a year. Like don't get me wrong. Like Demi Lovato has had like a brutal year, and I don't think anybody would be like,
no,
calling her out for skipping. But it's just to sort of say it publicly, to just go on social and to sort of throw that shade and stir that pot, and then I guarantee something's going to happen in the next couple of months where everybody, including Demi Lovato, is going to have to be on the love beats hate and all that stuff, right? Like you can't flip back and forth on that. You can't start throwing shade at your peers, and then when something goes down, accuse other people of trolling or hate or whatever it is. Like you can't have it both ways.
Yeah.
And this is all over Scooter Braun. When it was Katy Perry and Taylor Swift, it was all over backup dancers. And that went on for years.
Yeah.
Years these pop feuds go on.
Katy Perry had to change the lyrics because of it. She had an album that flopped because of it.
Yes. Like it's really, really wild to this the how hardcore you go on social with these statements, but there you go. So that's why Demi wasn't at the VMAs last night.
Oh no.
This is the Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
See that picture of Melania Trump looking at Justin Trudeau?
She wanted bad.
It's any picture that they take of you like in the right moment though.
Yeah.
It's so unfortunate.
Where she just looks real thirsty.
But also, but what makes it even worse is that she's still holding Donald Trump's hand.
Oh!
So it's the three of them standing there. And so it's Trump, I guess they're having a big meeting. G7.
A big meeting.
And,
it's kind of a big deal.
Yeah, whatever. That's not the important part. The important part is that Melania Trump is like, she's right up in Justin Trudeau's face.
Yeah.
So she's
Get
holding
that girl Gatorade, she's thirsty.
She's holding Donald Trump's hand. Right?
Yeah.
And Trudeau's standing there and she's like right up in his face. Like it looks like she's going to kiss him. And I don't know what happened during this photo. Like maybe she did kiss him on the cheek or something. I don't know. But it's
she got a little taste.
Oof, boy, it's a look. I'll tell you what. Normally I don't buy into stuff like this. Right? Because you can snap a picture of anybody at any time and you can create a narrative for it. You can. 100%. But it doesn't matter what was going on in that moment because that just face is like, that's reserved for certain things.
I'm saving this for later.
Yeah. What was that movie where the guy just kept blinking because he was taking mental pictures? He's like, Like all them mental pictures. You know what I mean? That's what Melania's doing right there. But only she's like, their faces are real. Maybe it's the angle too. But like, look at this picture. When's the last time your face has been that close to somebody else's face, like another human being? Like, when's the last time? Look at this. Look at how close they are.
Oh, wow.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, that's real close.
When I'm trying to take a mental picture.
Right? Yeah.
This is the Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Let me shout out somebody who texted, "Hey guys, just want to say hi. I'm finished working a 15-hour day. I'm so tired.
Oof.
But have a nice day." So you didn't leave your name, but thank you very much for listening to the Roz and Mocha Show, and thank you for your text at 925-555.
That's a long day, man. 15 hours.
15.
God, I thought I work a long day. 15's too much. 13's long, but 15, you're just not human.
Your days
you're just not human at that point.
Yeah, you're looking at about 15.
Yeah, no, it's long. I get home at 6:30 every night.
Oh, yeah, dude.
It's a long day.
Yeah.
It's a long day. And then I get home and I cook dinner, hang out with Rox. Now we're playing Switch like crazy.
Nintendo Switch, yeah?
Yes.
What game, Mario Kart?
Mario Kart. I've never
She
played a
loves
Mario
it, huh?
game before.
Never?
No, never in my life. I've never like controlled a Mario character in like a video game. I've never in my life done that. This is the first time ever I've controlled any sort of Mario character doing anything.
Not even like the
ever.
original, like you didn't have friends that had Nintendo and you would go and you'd play games?
No, because I didn't like Nintendo.
Oh!
Nintendo was for sucks.
What?
Yeah.
What was your gaming system of choice?
I played Commodore 64 games. Like I played computer games because they were awesome. You could just like shoot stuff because I was really into graphics and sound and stuff. And I just always found that Nintendo was very basic. And then I was a Sega.
Compared to Commodore?
Yeah. And then Sega came out and then we got Sega. And then I transitioned from Sega into the world of PlayStation. So I missed that whole world of NES and Nintendo.
Wow.
And, like I had a girlfriend one time that we used to go to her house because her brother like had Duck Hunt. Remember that with the gun?
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. I don't know. Maybe you don't remember.
Everybody remembers.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Everybody remembers Duck Hunt?
Everybody knows Duck Hunt.
Okay, cool. So I played Duck Hunt.
Yeah.
And I never had a Game Boy.
Yeah.
I started playing Tetris well into my 20s.
What?
Yeah, when it was on, because Tetris then came out on PlayStation. I didn't play Tetris on Nintendo.
Really?
No, I'd never played a Nintendo before. So this is my first like Nintendo.
Yeah.
And it's awesome.
Well,
Switch
yeah.
is amazing.
Of course it is.
I still have to ask where I'm now at the point where I don't know how to control my own stuff. Like I have to ask Roxy what input Switch is on.
Oh,
on
really?
the TV, and I hooked it up, but I don't know. She was leaving the house the other day, and I was like, "Rox, you got to figure out, man, this thing with the TV, so I can ask you because I'm tired of doing it, and I don't remember how to do stuff anymore. I don't. It's so funny. I don't remember how to do things anymore.
So, do you only play when she's at home, or do you find?
No, I only play with her.
Yeah.
Like, you think I'm going home alone playing Switch?
I don't know. Maybe.
No, I'm not that hardcore.
No?
No.
Not yet, at least.
Well, also because I have a lot of questions and there's nobody there to answer them for me.
This is the Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
How much like exercise, and I don't mean like maybe working out, but active hours do you have in a week?
Ooh, like me personally?
Yeah, because one of these stories just came out talking about how couch potatoes are going to die soon.
Oh. I don't know, maybe in a week. I don't know, maybe like.
Okay, let me sort of break it down for you. Let me break it down for you.
Maybe 2 hours, I'd say.
So high levels of physical activity of any intensity, whether washing dishes or jogging, can actually lower the risk of an early death for middle-aged and older people. Conversely, being sedentary for 9.5 hours a day or more, not counting sleeping, can increase your risk of dying early. So that's a lot of office sitting. That's a lot of sitting in your car, sitting. Like I know 9.5 hours when I say that sounds like an incredible amount of time to be sitting in a day, but that's actually not.
That seems pretty normal for me, I'd say.
Past guidelines have recommended at least 150 minutes of moderate intensity or 75 minutes of vigorous physical activity a week. So examples of light intensity activity are walking slowly or light tasks, like I said, cooking, washing dishes. Moderate activity is brisk walking, vacuuming, or mowing the lawn. And vigorous activity includes jogging, carrying heavy things, or digging.
Oh my God, I'm going to die tomorrow.
Oh, the vigorous stuff, that doesn't exist in my life right now. No. The other stuff, I would say
So
yes.
you're like moderate, right?
I would be
Like
moderate.
Vacuuming, mowing the lawn, walking.
I'd be in that middle range there.
Right. Okay, so you need 150 minutes of moderate intensity a week.
Okay.
150 minutes. Well, there's 60 minutes in an hour.
Yeah.
So you only
Always
need
has been.
So you only need like an hour and a bit.
An hour and?
Like half.
An hour and a half.
That's 90. That's 90.
Yeah.
What did you say?
150 minutes.
90. So like just shy of 2 hours.
Just do the math.
Okay,
Do the
so
math.
90 is an hour and a half. Another 10 minutes
What's
is
60
100.
plus 60?
120.
Okay.
And what did you say we need?
150.
Okay, so 60. So 2 hours. 6 and 6 is 120. 20 to 30, 30, 40, 40. 2 hours and 30, 2.5 hours.
Oh, there you go. Finally. Well, now you got 2 minutes. You can take off your clock there, Maureen. And that was vigorous activity that you just did.
Roz and Mocha's Fix My Life.
What advice can you guys give me?
Okay, so my question is...
Got a problem you can't fix?
Roz and Mocha got you.
Hello, Katie.
Good morning, guys. How are you?
Doing great. How are you today?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Cool. Katie, you wrote us this. Roz and Mocha Fix My Life. I have a friend who dresses inappropriately when we go out, and it makes me uncomfortable. People stare, and it's to the point where I don't even want to be seen with her in public. What can I do or say to get her to maybe dress a bit more appropriately for going out in public? Okay, so
what's this girl wearing?
I just want to preface this by saying, like, I'm all about body positivity, and if you feel comfortable within the skin that you're in, do you? But I also believe that there is also a time and place for everything. She's just wearing extremely ill-fitting clothes, like, I mean, everything is hanging out, essentially. Like, whatever you would wear in the gym, maybe 3 sizes smaller, and everything's hanging out.
Okay.
And it's uncomfortable to have that kind of attention brought to us.
Okay, but Katie, how does she feel wearing the stuff, the clothing?
She doesn't care. She likes the attention because she's just recently now getting out of a marriage, and she's trying to attract, a new mate and whatnot. But everybody around her, her friends, her ex-husband, her family, everybody is like, maybe this is the wrong kind of even her children.
Yo, let that girl live her life. What's wrong with you?
So are you saying that is the clothing, first of all, these are your standards, not her standards. Yeah. Okay?
Correct.
You have to, yes, these are your standards, not her standards. And so you're coming at this thinking that what she is wearing makes you uncomfortable. Unfortunately, that's a you problem, not a her problem.
Yeah.
I figured as such, but her kids have even said something.
Sure, absolutely. Absolutely. Now, here's my question for you. Is she wearing inappropriate clothing, or is she wearing inappropriate clothing for her body, in your opinion?
Both.
Okay.
At the same time.
Okay. So because they tend to be different. They tend to be different, right? So you can have somebody who, has what would be considered like that super toned athletic body, hot, everything across the board, right? And they can wear something, in your opinion, to your standards that is inappropriate. Then you can have somebody who is, as you said, you got to love the skin you're in. So I'm assuming maybe she is a little bit of a bigger gal.
No comment.
Okay.
So
okay.
the answer is yes.
So according to you, she's wearing inappropriate clothes for her body. Again, those are your standards.
But inappropriate as well, like for anybody to be wearing, I think, in public.
So give us an example, though.
Like, is she wearing lingerie out in public?
Pretty much. Like as a top, it'll be a bra, but it'll be like a see-through-ish kind of bra.
Sure.
And then she will be putting like pasties.
Sure.
To cover.
Sure. But again,
Listen, she feels great about her body. She feels hot. She's trying to get back in the game. You should celebrate the fact that she's putting herself out there. She probably feels, coming out of was it a divorce you said?
Yeah.
Yeah, feeling real terrible about herself, and, knowing that she wants to get into a relationship, or at least attempt to. Like, man, celebrate that girl's life.
Wow, jeez. It's tough.
Yeah.
I will.
This is the reason also, though, why she was not her husband, because her husband didn't even want to be seen with her. She would show up looking like a family event.
Here's the thing. Okay, here's the thing is that there are consequences to our choices that we make in life. You are free and she's free to do whatever she wants and dress however she wants, as long as you're willing to deal with the consequences. Now, dealing with the consequences could be you don't get let into a restaurant because they have a dress code. The consequences could be your boss pulls you in an office and has a conversation with you about what is appropriate by their standards at work. The consequences could be somebody who you don't even know makes some sort of comment that is designed to be hurtful. Those are all consequences, okay? That does not mean that she should dress any differently. She just has to be willing to accept the consequences, as we all do for our actions. Now, as a friend, I don't think there's anything wrong. You can't have a conversation about what's appropriate and what's not appropriate because those are your standards. But as a friend, I have no problem if you guys are getting ready to go out, if you just look at her and go, whoa, Janet, I can see your whole ass right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's what I'm scared to bring up.
You can have that.
So-
You don't. I wouldn't say, listen, it's inappropriate, and you make me
then you sound
feel
like a parent.
uncomfortable, and I don't like being seen with you, and I.
No,
you
I
could
would
go.
never want to say that. I would never say that.
No, you could go.
Yeah.
You could go, Janet. Honestly, top of the boob is fine, socially acceptable, but man, when I can see the whole underside of your boob, I am like, what? And also, I can see your whole ass. Now, if you are fine with that, so am I. Just need to let you know, because I don't know if you can see that part, but I sure can.
But there's also a chance that Janet may turn to you and say, Katie, mission accomplished.
Yes. And if that's the case, then she is the one that then has to deal with the consequences. But you cannot put your standards on somebody else when it comes to what they wear. You just can't do it. Because you wouldn't want somebody doing that to you. Believe me, I'm sure that you wear some things that if you found somebody 5 notches up the conservative pole, they would look down at you and go, "Oh."
Maybe, yeah.
Yes.
You know, you're right. You're right.
Yes.
You're totally right. All of us, like Roz, with your leather pants.
Mentally, you're going through your closet right now saying, yep, that outfit that I have.
Yes.
Yeah, you're right. But like I said, there's a time and a place.
Well,
just don't be a parent to her when you have that conversation, if you decide
You're
to have
right.
that conversation.
and for your friend,
You're
that
right.
time and the place is whole ass everywhere.
You're
Celebrate
right.
you,
You're
girl.
right.
Do you, Janet?
You're right. Thank you guys so much. I love you guys so much.
We love you too, Katie.
You guys have helped me out a lot.
Roz and Mocha's Fix My Life
on Kiss.
For the podcast.
Yes.
Hey, Mocha.
Yeah.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Let's do the news.
A Roz and Mocha Show and Kiss 92.5 News Break.
Taylor Swift, from that interview she did with CBS, went in on Scott Borchetta and Scooter Braun for the deal when Scott sold Big Machine Records, Taylor's former label, and all her back catalog to Scooter Braun. This is a clip of that interview.
I knew he would sell my music. I knew he would do that. I couldn't believe who he sold it to because we've had endless conversations about Scooter Braun, and he has 300 million reasons to conveniently forget those conversations.
And Scooter tweeted this: regardless of what has been said, the truth is you don't make big bets unless you are a believer and always have been. Brilliant album with Lover. Congrats, Taylor Swift. Supporting was always the healthier option. Hashtag brilliant album. Hashtag brilliant campaign. Congrats. So I guess he's taken the
high road.
Michelle Obama high road.
Yes. The one thing I'll say is that the new Taylor Swift album, it's good.
Yeah.
I like it, man.
So what's that track where she sampled from a school in Regent Park?
Oh.
Explain that to me.
Yeah, hold on here. So, wait. I have the story here. The second last song on the album is called It's Nice to Have a Friend.
Okay.
And there's a choir playing in the background.
Okay.
And the choir is from Regent Park.
Really?
And she sampled the choir along with some of the instruments that are being played throughout the song.
Feels like home, stay in bed the whole weekend. It's nice to have a friend. It's nice to have a friend.
So all this.
Oh, it's
Regent Park.
It's nice to have a friend.
And I guess she's going to give funding to the school as well. Is that the deal?
Yeah, so Regent Park School of Music teamed up with a Canadian producer by the name of Frank Dukes. And they have this, it's called Parkscapes, which is a music library. So anytime somebody downloads or licenses samples of music from that website, from them, the money goes directly towards funding of that school.
Wasn't Frank Dukes Jean-Claude Van Damme's character in Bloodsport who won the Kumite?
Stop it, was it? No. Stop it.
I think so.
No, it's not.
I think so. You can fact check me on that. But I'm pretty sure my JCVD knowledge, everything that I banked about Jean-Claude Van Damme. Is it? Yeah?
Is it? Oh my God, you're right. Frank Dukes.
This is the Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Tom Holland. Oh, man. Poor Tom Holland. So Spider-Man, we all know, is no longer going to be part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and he's going to go off and do his own Sony movies because it couldn't get a deal done. And the way that I understood this deal was that it had less to do with money. It had a lot to do with money. But it
always has to do with money.
No, but it was more about Sony not thinking that, how do you say Kevin's last name? Feige. That Kevin Feige had too much on his plate to produce the movies.
Oh.
Because with the new Disney deal, they got back X-Men and Fantastic Four, which are now going to start producing films.
Those are on the priority list now.
So it came down to Kevin Feige and how thin he was spread as part of the story of them taking Spider-Man back. Anyway, this is Tom Holland. Finally, poor Tom Holland commenting on the fate of Spidey.
Basically, we've made 5 great movies. It's been 5 amazing years. I've had the time of my life. Who knows what the future holds? But all I know is that I'm going to continue playing Spider-Man and having the time of my life. And it's going to be so fun. However we choose to do it, and the future for Spider-Man will be different, but it will be equally as awesome and amazing. And we'll find new ways to make it even cooler somehow.
Oh, man.
Guy, right?
I feel so bad for him.
Poor dude. It's the worst.
Oh, man. We love you 3000.
So it looks like Gillette. Remember when Gillette did that toxic masculinity commercial? The kids like fighting in a barbecue.
Yeah,
and,
2 years ago, yeah.
And it wasn't that long ago. It was
No?
way sooner than that.
Yeah?
So Procter & Gamble, the parent company of Gillette, back on the beginning of August, they announced that the company took an $8 billion write-down on Gillette. They said because millennials aren't shaving anymore. So they blamed it on beard culture.
Get out of here.
All right?
No, that's not it.
Okay.
That's not it.
They attributed it to beard culture. However, their new string of commercials that have started airing in Australia are shifting the spotlight from social issues to, I guess, like local heroes. There's one where there's a firefighter and personal trainer. This just like dude in the mirror shaving. They say we have a very clear strategy when it comes to how we authentically connect with our customers. This is from Manu Arian, Associate Brand Director with Gillette Australia and New Zealand. Quote, we will continue to talk about what is important to Gillette, and that is representing men at their best and helping men do their best. That is not changing. We will continue to do that and demonstrate it in different ways. So no more of the toxic masculinity stuff that, you know, everybody's like, oh, sure, go ahead, boycott. What are you're going to hurt a company the size of Gillette? And $8 billion.
$8 billion later.
$8 billion later, yeah. So
you gotta sell a lot of them Profusion blades to make that back.
Officially, it's because people aren't shaving. Millennials aren't shaving anymore, right? Officially, it's because millennials aren't shaving anymore. VMAs last night, Taylor Swift calling out the White House during her speech.
Let me just get
a lot of
real quick.
What is this here?
Oh, this is Taylor opening the show.
Oh, yeah.
A live performance. So good.
I like that song a lot.
Yeah.
It was a great performance, too. It was crazy. But during her speech for Video of the Year, took the moment to talk about the Equality Act petition that she says 500,000 signatures sit on that thing as of right now.
At the end of this video, there was a petition, and there still is a petition, for the Equality Act, which basically just says we all deserve equal rights under the law. I want to thank everyone who signed that petition because it now has 500,000 signatures, which is 5 times the amount that it would need to warrant a response from the White House. Thank you to the fans for everything you do for us. Thank you, MTV, for lifting up this point in this video. We love you.
There you go. Lil Nas X walked away with song of the year, and his speech was so awesome. And just seeing him on stage with Billy Ray Cyrus is it's just so funny. It's so wild to me.
Because never in a million
Everything
years
that
would
Lil
you
Nas
think
X has done.
their two worlds would collide.
No, it's just amazing.
When, the story of Lil Nas X and how the song came about, the controversy on the charts and this and that.
You're watching Billy Ray Cyrus, Lil Nas X on stage. You're like, man, that is the song that broke everybody's record for number 1 on top of Billboard for 19 weeks.
Those two guys.
I love it. It doesn't get any better than that.
That man
for me.
and that kid.
I love it.
Thank you. Thank you so much. This is my first award ever. I want to say thank you to this man for helping me take my career to the next level right here. And I got a little speech, so
And he busts out this scroll.
Yeah,
this long ass scroll hits the floor.
Thank you.
I never dreamed I'd be standing here tonight.
It was a real good moment.
Sorry, Billy.
The one thing, though, that I was really disappointed in, and maybe it has to do with politics with his people or whatever.
Sure.
But the breakout song is Old Town Road.
Yes.
Lil Nas X performed last night, but did not perform Old Town Road.
Weird.
He performed his new song, Panini, which it's a good song and everything. He didn't even sing it. He was all lip syncing the entire thing. Very noticeable.
Yeah.
So I don't know if MTV said, hey, Lil Nas X, we have a spot for you on stage. Will you perform Old Town Road? And maybe his people were like, no, we're done with that. We want to move on. We will perform, but we will only perform the new song.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how that works because it can go either way. The production can dictate, as we've seen in the past, where artists bail on awards shows because they don't want to do what the production wants them to do.
Right.
But I don't get the sense that Lil Nas X is barking orders.
At MTV?
Yeah. I don't get that sense. You've won one award. Yeah, you get the big record and everything else, but you've won one award. But hey, Leslie Jones is leaving Saturday Night Live after 5 years.
No!
Yep. Sources say that she has opted to depart SNL and will instead focus on her upcoming feature film projects and her Netflix comedy special. Kate McKinnon, on the other hand, has closed a deal to return for season 45.
Nice.
The only thing that Leslie Jones tweeted yesterday, and I don't think this has anything to do with it, but maybe it does. She wrote, like F Twitter, right now, y'all are the worst to post on, ugh. Been trying to post a video for 2 hours and just goes to drafts. Get your effing S together, or I'm going to stop using you real talk.
Wow,
so,
damn,
yeah.
Leslie
Now,
Jones?
if you remember how classic Leslie Jones is, and you know what sucks is that I was very much looking forward to seeing what Leslie Jones and Eddie Murphy would do when he comes back to host the show after 35 years. I was hoping that they were going to put something together where Leslie would get to fan out on Eddie Murphy or whatever it was.
You know, I wonder if they will. If they'll still do that. Now that everybody knows that she's not coming back, and they give it the 3 months that the show's going to be on the air until Eddie Murphy's there, if they just bring her back, because her return would be so much greater. Standing next to Eddie Murphy.
Maybe, but let's revisit this gem from Leslie Jones.
And what made me so mad was seeing the 25 Alabama senators who voted for the abortion ban. Throw that picture up. Look at them. This looked like the casting call for a Lipitor commercial. This looked like the mug shots of everyone arrested at a massage parlor. And if any of them had lips, I would tell them to kiss my entire
Leslie Jones, you're going to be missed.
Here we go.
The Roz and Mocha Show
Podcast.
Shark Tank's Kevin O'Leary was a passenger on a boat involved in a tragic weekend collision that killed an American man in Muskoka. TMZ was first to report the crash, which took place near Seguin, is that how you say it, Township, at 11:30 p.m. on Saturday night. A 64-year-old from Florida was reportedly killed in the accident, while a 48-year-old woman from Markham was rushed to a hospital after sustaining critical injuries.
Wow.
O'Leary told TMZ, late Saturday night, I was a passenger in a boat that had a tragic collision with another craft that had no navigation lights. Oof. And then they fled the scene, apparently, of the accident. I'm fully cooperating with authorities, is what he goes on to say. The boat has reportedly been seized for forensic testing. No criminal charges so far have been filed.
Roz and Mocha Q&A.
Ask Roz and Mocha time. Before we get to that, though, I love reading these Apple Podcast reviews that we've been getting lately. 5 stars right across the board, so thank you for that.
Good.
The bestest reads this one. It says, it's from Emily. I recently moved to Denver, Colorado with my husband and daughter. Listening to the podcast reminds me of home in Toronto. I've been listening to the Roz and Mocha Show since I was in high school, and I just love hearing the show and how it's evolved. Thank you for always putting a smile on my face and making me laugh while I'm working out and having people stare at me. It's totally worth it. Much love.
Wow.
This one is from, doesn't give a name, but 5 stars, reads, love the show. Absolutely love the show. I do a lot of traveling for work, and the podcast is on my radio the whole time. Keep up the great work. And another one, of course. These reviews were submitted. Maury was the one that gave me these, because this one reads, subject line, go Maury.
Oh, God.
You guys are the best, and I don't know what's wrong with me because Maury's my favorite. Now, usually when I read these, I always say who they're from.
Yeah.
But ironically, this time that Maury gave me the reviews, they don't have who they're from. So this one that reads Go Maury, is this from you? Did you write your own review, Maury?
No, he says no, he did not.
Did Matthew write it? Your husband? All right, time for Ask Roz and Mocha. These are the questions that we get from you on Instagram at Kiss925. And of course, we ask one of you to join us on the podcast. Hello, Cassandra. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing great.
Hold on, just a quick thing. That is from the account Maury the Man.
So Maury, you wrote it. Yeah. All right, Cassandra, what's your question?
So my question is, when does a movie become a classic? Not so much in regards to, box office and quality and message of the movie, but more time-wide.
Okay.
Because I heard Roz call Harry Potter a classic, and it kind of hurt my heart a little bit to think that I was alive during a classic movie that's come out.
Yeah.
I'm that old, and it's 16 years old. But what time, would it be 20 years? Almost like in my question I said, on Turner Classic Movie Channel. When would Harry Potter start showing up on that channel?
So I would say a movie becomes a classic when it has some sort of a cultural impact and universally loved and maybe even quoted, or turned into comedy skits on shows and multiple parodies and memes. I think, a movie like Star Wars universally is a classic. I think a movie like Harry Potter can be considered a classic.
Right.
Yeah, I think if you just go by the numbers, how old does a car have to be before it's technically a classic? 50 years, right?
That's kind of what I meant.
Yeah, I think 50 is when you start getting into the world of classics, and then after that you start getting into the world of antiques, which we don't usually say in terms of movies. But I would say, but there's terms like instant classic for a reason, and then there's things that we refer to as classic video games that aren't kind of actually that old. They're just generation one. I think that when a new technology or a new genre or a new something happens, it's referred to as classic. There's classic classic kung fu movies. Oh my God, it's a classic kung fu movie. It's not 50 years old.
No.
But it's first generation of whatever the thing is.
Yeah, and it can follow the formula.
Yeah,
formula kind of thing.
Exactly. I refer to Harry Potter as a classic, one, because people grew up with it. When you were a little kid and Harry Potter was your sort of thing, you're an adult now. And so I think that I refer to it as classic because it's anything like that has sort of spanned your own life, where something has existed. Like I would say The Simpsons is a classic. Is a classic show because it has expanded an entire generation where there are people who have grown and are adults now that have been exposed to something consistently. So yeah, I would say that Harry Potter is a classic. I would, but I mean, will it show up on like what you said, Turner Classic Movies? I don't.
It's all like black and white movies. So when does a movie of our age get to that point?
But classic cinema is also a genre, though, right? Like those black and white movies from the 50s and 60s are in its own genre of classic Hollywood. And I don't know if anything else will be considered classic because they're not of that time.
Yeah.
You know?
Like what, Cassandra, what would you consider classic? Like what's a classic movie for you?
God, when I think of time, like how long it's been out, I don't like to think that I've gone to the theater and seen what would now be considered a classic movie, because then I feel super old. Like when you said Harry Potter's been out for 16 years, kind of, punch in the gut right there. But you know what? I think as the first movies I think about are the movie Walt Disney ones, the ones that are in the vault, the Cinderella, the Snow White, because those are ones that I saw when I was very little.
Yeah.
So I would put those definitely as classic.
But like E.T.'s a classic.
True, yeah.
Right?
And that's 80s.
Yeah.
Is Home Alone a classic?
Yes. I would say Home Alone's a classic.
Yeah.
See, that's a Christmas classic.
No, I don't.
You don't think it's a classic?
No.
At all?
Because it's in a genre of Christmas films. And I think that there are, like, Miracle on 34th Street.
34th.
Miracle on 34th Street is a classic Christmas
the original
film.
or the remake?
The original.
Never seen any of them.
What's that other one?
Really?
Scrooged.
No. The other black and white Christmas movie. Like those are classics.
It's a Wonderful Life?
It's a Wonderful Life. Thank you. Is that the same movie I was thinking of?
No.
Okay. Yeah. It's a Wonderful Life as a classic Christmas film. I don't know if I would say Home Alone is a classic Christmas film.
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I guess.
Like
maybe
Casablanca.
I'm wrong. Yeah.
You know what? Just like I would say Die Hard is a classic Christmas movie.
Oh, God, no.
Not a Christmas.
Yeah, it is. Let's not get into the discussion of why Die Hard is or
It's not a classic.
I
It's not a
have the
classic.
same argument with my husband.
No. See, here's the thing. Is that I would say Die Hard is a classic Bruce Willis movie. But I would not say that Die Hard is a classic anything else.
Is Shawshank Redemption a classic?
No. I don't know. Maybe.
Shawshank.
Classic what though? Like, I don't know. Usually when you say classic, now that I think about this, usually when you say classic, it's attributed with another sort of description.
Adjective with it,
like, another adjective
Like a
with
classic
it.
prison movie?
Yeah, like a classic. Like is Shawshank, is Shawshank a classic film? I don't know. Is Shawshank
Sound
a
of Music.
Sound of Music's a classic.
See, but then you're just
Or
saying
is that a
everything's
classic
'cause
musical?
It's old.
No, it's a classic. Sound of Music, I watched that not that long ago with Rox because she was interested in it. I think that may be...
You told me it's a Nazi movie.
Well, yeah, because there's Nazis in it more.
He doesn't have to tell you.
Have you ever
Just
seen
watch
The Sound of
movie.
Music?
Yeah, when I was a kid.
Yeah, there's swastikas everywhere. They escape. That's the whole story. No, but Sound of Music may be, to go off topic here, may be the musical that had the greatest collection of songs in any musical film or stage ever created.
I am 15, going on 16.
The music in The Sound of Music is incredible. Every song is a smash.
Hey, Cassandra, thanks very much for joining us on Ask Roz
Nobody's
Mocha.
going to bite on that. Listen, I'm all alone. I'm all alone on that island.
Can I tell you guys? I've never seen that movie
You've
either.
never seen Sound of Music?
Nope.
No? Why don't you watch it
You've
this
been
weekend?
deprived.
You should watch it this weekend.
Why? Nazis? No,
Yeah.
thanks.
Why? It's just a lot of white people dancing around and singing and having fun.
Celebrating their whiteness?
No. They don't get into. It's presumed that the Nazis are evil. They don't get into why they're evil. You're not forced to.
Yeah, it's kind of the
celebrate
background of it.
anybody's anything.
Nah,
So
I'm
long,
good.
farewell, Auf Wiedersehen, I do.
Yeah, but you should watch it. You should watch it with your white wife.
Thanks, Cassandra. Love you lots.
Thank you. Love you guys.
Bye.
All right. I don't know what it is with people and their torture questions, but Not Main Account asks this question. Would you rather step on Legos for the rest of your life barefoot or have a cut between your toes that never heals? Ugh! Both of those sound friggin' atrocious.
Okay, how deep is the cut? And so are the Lego then just always in my shoes?
Or they're just always around wherever it is that you step? Because then that would be a lot of Lego, and it would be weird to be stepping on Lego when you think about your day, every place that you go.
Yeah.
There just has to be Lego everywhere then, you have to assume, right?
I would almost say the cut between the toes, because then you could just walk on your heels.
Like, how deep of a cut are we talking? Like, is it always bleeding?
No, I don't know.
I'm sure it's like a painful paper cut.
Yeah, I would take the cut between the toes.
I would also take the cut.
Yeah. Yeah, because I wouldn't want to do, if you had to step on Lego first thing in the morning, it's a terrible way to wake up.
It's very shocking.
But keep in mind the little cuts are painful too.
No, I know,
Yeah,
but
they
there are.
But I can deal with that pain. I get cuts all the
Band-Aid,
time.
you could use lotions and creams and whatever,
Yes.
right? You could use like triple antibiotic or whatever and a Band-Aid.
But it will never heal, though. No, it'll never heal.
No, but you can get like temporary relief.
No, but can you though? Keep in mind, it'll keep you up. You won't be able to fall asleep with pain.
Well, no, like I could take an Advil and it'll deal with the pain of having a cut between my toes. If I constantly for the rest of my life walked on Lego, I would be an opioid addict.
Yeah.
To deal with that kind of pain. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
You get hooked on Oxy real quick.
Well, there you go. Stupid question.
Salume asks if the three of you were starting. Oh, I think she might be right. Okay. Salume asks if the three of you were starring in a movie, what genre would it be, and what roles would each of you play?
That's
obviously a Western.
No, I would say much like the show, it would be comedy, and we would just play ourselves because we just have three very different personalities, have views of the world very uniquely, very differently. So I think we would just be versions of ourselves, right?
But the genre, if you put a Western, you could see Roz, wearing a cowboy hat, leaning against his saloon door, spitting into a bucket. You come in on a horse.
We're not talking about your fantasy, Maury.
Yeah, no, I think that let's go through like movie tropes. Like, let's go through the sort of things that pop up in many different movies.
Like action, right?
No, let's say, I think for me, I would be the one to make Maury over so you, Mocha, would notice him and eventually fall in love with him. Like it would be a makeover movie.
So you're like my gay cousin?
Where I would have the it would be that scene where I take his glasses off and I tell him how pretty he is without his glasses on.
Yeah.
Right? He'd fix up his clothes and stuff. And then he would show up to work and you would notice him for the first time. And then he would like play super hard to get.
Oh, and obviously, hold on.
Leave your glasses on.
No, but hold on. You have to teach me how to dance or something so I have something to do.
Yeah. Like we'd try and woo you. Like I would try and help him get noticed by you.
Can I just say like something that's really, really weird?
Yeah.
Is that we always know that Maury will, in every aspect of the show and of life outside of the show, he does and says things that would put him in a position to touch you.
Yes.
You, Roz, right?
Yes.
So he was just talking about, we would have to practice slow dancing together, right?
Right.
No, but in an effort to woo you.
Okay, but that's like something Maury like legit wants to do, right? But in this scenario that he just mentioned, I don't know if you caught this, is that in this movie scenario, you are his gay cousin.
Right.
Because who else would make me over?
No. It's always just like a friend. It's never the gay cousin. That's never happened in a movie before.
No, I know, but I just find it
Mrs.
weird
Doubtfire, it was the gay brother.
I just find it weird that he wants you to be his gay cousin, but he also wants to slow dance.
I'm not dressing you up like a woman, Maury. It's a makeover movie. It's not that. No, and I guess if we're going with those sort of like standard cliches, then I would make Maury over, and then what? I would be the one that realized how much I loved him and just never noticed. Like, is that how that would work?
I mean, we could.
And
go
then
with
you
that.
and you and I would fight over him, like with oil in our fists. I don't know how that would.
Oh my God, that'd be the name of the movie, Oil and Fist.
Yeah, fists and oil. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't know how that would play out, but I think that to me, that's the movie that we would be in. I think that I don't know if anybody would go and see that movie, but I think that that's the movie that I would like to star in with you guys. Like romantic comedy. It's my favorite. It's my favorite genre of movie anyway.
B asks this is a good question. You have been gifted an invisibility cloak, but you could only use it once. What would you use it for? Maury, try and stay out of changing rooms.
Okay, then.
Once. I can only use it once.
Maury, go.
Okay, so an invisibility cloak. So it would have to be something that You want to learn like the truth. Like I would want to be in this room where you can't see me, so I hear what you guys are saying when I'm not in the room.
But anything that we would say when you're not in the room, we would just say to your face anyway. We have.
Not everything. Not everything. Come on now.
Okay, well now.
It's like, now, where do I order this invisibility cloak?
Yeah.
I would say only because...
Or in like your wife's office to see if she's cheating on you.
You would burn your one time with an invisibility cloak to see if somebody was cheating. Like you wouldn't use it for monetary gain? You wouldn't figure out a way how to use the invisibility cloak to set you up for life? Like you wouldn't do you would use it to see if Matthew...
Yeah, no, you're right.
You would go to Matthew's work?
To find out that he's not cheating on you.
Yeah.
And then the cloak's gone.
You know what would happen is that you guys would bump into each other in invisible mode because he'd be on his way over here to see if you were cheating.
Numbskulls.
No, you're right. Like if you're in a bank in a bank setting or something, trying to figure out somebody's code for their vault.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think there's other ways. Like I don't know.
I'm trying to figure
I
out.
don't
Like
know.
okay, honestly, the first thing that came to my mind, right?
Yeah.
Because yes, number 2 would be to figure out a way to get myself rich,
Right.
quick,
Yes.
ASAP,
Yes.
right now.
Yes.
But the first thing that popped into my mind, and only because I've been watching a lot of stuff on Netflix and just it's been in the news the past couple of months, but I would use it to scope out and see the truth behind Area 51.
See, again, to me, that's a total waste.
Okay, no, I know that, but like, how would we
Because
be able
here's
to use the cloak, the invisibility cloak, for monetary gain? Like, you would have to assume, let's say if you're going to go into a bank and go into a vault and like take all their money, which, by the way, inside of a bank vault, it's not as much as you would think is being stored in there.
Right.
So I don't know if it's enough to set you up for life.
Right.
You would have to assume then that when you take that money, does that money then become invisible under the cloak?
No,
Or
it
is
looks like money floating in the sky.
No, you got
Right?
okay. Hold on here. Let me just chill for 1 second, okay?
You can use it to get on an
The
airplane
only-
and not pay.
Again, to do what though?
So you could fly
to
to like,
find out if Matthew's cheating on me. No. Like, okay, let me break this down because the only way to answer, and this is why I love Ask Roz Mocha, because it's where we take ridiculous questions extremely seriously. Okay, Mocha, instead of sort of like walking into a bank and stealing money, and then does the money, if you put it under the cloak, become invisible? All this other stuff, right?
Yeah.
Let's say you and I just go to Vegas and you crouch down behind the dealer at a blackjack table for 3 hours while we just run the whole thing. Or you stand behind the ball at the roulette table and just kind of flick it to the number that I put all our money on.
Oh, that's true.
Right? What if you just did that? Like, what if there was just some way that you and I could just partner up for a weekend in Vegas in that invisibility cloak, and we go down to the casino floor and we just win $2 million in an afternoon? Just super high stakes, like just incredibly high stakes gambling. Like, we could do that. You don't have to steal the money. You could legit win it, but we'll just do it in a real shady way.
The duo of fists and oil.
Yeah.
Causing trouble. Winning that money.
I'm telling you, I think that there's ways to do it. There's ways to do it. There are ways to do it.
Steven asks a lot of questions on Ask Roz and Mocha, and they're always ridiculous. Steven Vodenkarov. Roz, who would you rather have as your son, Dan Mamoa or Caillou?
Oh, stop it. Next question, please. I'm not answering that.
We take these ridiculous questions seriously.
Yeah, I'm not taking that seriously. I'm not fantasizing about either Caillou or you, Maury, as my son.
John Han asks, have you guys ever been hit with a case of mistaken identity?
Yes.
Do tell. Dan Mamoa, go.
The dude from, what's his name, that played in Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
No, but like, okay, we will get to that story.
Okay.
But it didn't happen directly to you.
Right, no.
Right?
I've been mistaken for my husband.
For Matthew?
Yes. We get asked if we're twins all the time.
But would you say, is that a case of mistaken identity? No.
That's not a case of mistaken identity.
No.
Okay. I mean, I'm told I look like celebrities, but has anyone ever said, oh my God, are you? No.
Right. No, you haven't.
So the mistaken identity story that Maury was originally referring to is one time when I went to the Starbucks across the street to grab coffee for us, Maury typically goes across the street and grabs coffee. And this one particular day, I went and grabbed the coffee. And the woman, the barista, said, because I went and I said, oh, I'm here picking up this order. David Maury usually comes in here. And she's like, oh, that's Maury? Yeah. And I was like, yeah, why? She goes, I thought he was the dad from Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Rick Moranis.
She thought Maury, all this time in the history of running over to Starbucks to grab coffee for the show, she thought that it was really Rick Moranis going in to grab coffee. And that Rick Moranis worked on the Roz Mocha show and just changed his name to David Maury.
Isn't that awesome?
Like Rick Moranis comes in every morning at 5 a.m.
Yeah. Geez, I don't know how to tell this story. A woman thought that I was somebody else.
Okay.
Like a celebrity?
But I didn't know that she thought that I was somebody else.
Okay.
Until after.
But who said? Like she said or you said?
She just started calling me by this other person's name.
Yeah.
After we had like third base.
Oh.
Yeah.
She started calling you by somebody else's name.
Yeah. She just thought that I was this other person.
And what did you say?
I said nothing. Because I didn't put it all together until after.
Yeah.
I was like, that was super weird. And then I realized that
you figured out the Matrix.
She thought that I was this other guy. Now, funny story is that I sort of knew this other guy. He was a singer in a band.
Oh my God.
And I told him the story years later.
And what'd he say?
You're welcome.
Yeah, because like at that point, what else is he going to say?
Yeah, because I was at a concert and we were just there and this woman just became super friendly and flirty. And I just thought it was because I was hot. And then it escalated very quickly.
Yeah.
Like very quickly. And then we like left and went somewhere real close and then made out for a little while. And then at the end, she started calling me TK. And I was like, I don't know, okay. And she starts asking me about an album. And I'm like being very vague and sketchy because I don't exactly know what she's talking about.
And you're like, how do you know about my music career?
Yeah.
Hasn't been fully taken off yet.
Yeah, but because I was playing at the time. And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, oh my God, this woman's really showing an interest in me. I've never even played a show.
She's showing interest in my interest.
Yes. I'm like, this is a really, really great woman. And then I realized that she thought that I was this guy named Todd Kearns, who was in a band called Age of Electric years ago, a Canadian rock band. And there was a brief moment where we had the exact same hair. To the point of where we saw each other out in public one time and both looked at each other and went, what? Because he's real tall too. Like we had the same body, the same everything else. And there was one moment where we had the exact same haircut and dyed it the exact same color.
Wow.
Yeah. And so years later, I told him this story. And that's when he was like, well, you're welcome.
Wait, so did she ever figure it out or no?
No, I never saw the woman again in my life.
Oh, damn.
No.
So she thinks to this day probably
that she went to third base with this other guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why only third base?
Why only third base?
Yeah.
Because sometimes, you know what? Because there was a time where, that's another interesting question, Maury. Why only third base? There was a time where I actively decided to not go all the way with people, where I would only go to third base because things became too complicated when you went full on. And I found that relationships stayed spicier longer with only going to third base.
Because you're playing hard to get.
No, but we both were. It was a sort of mutual kind of thing. I would have a conversation with somebody where I'm like, I don't want to do the full thing here now. And it made for some very interesting relationships.
My mistaken identity story.
Yeah.
Happened when I was in high school.
Yeah.
And growing up in the neighborhood I grew up in Scarborough, which at the time was, it was a good neighborhood, but there were some bad people.
Was it rougher then than it is now?
No.
I
would say it's way rougher now, but there were periods of roughness in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
So I'll never forget this. It happened in the summertime. I was driving to pick up my friend so we can go to summer school, right? And it was like one of those summer school evening classes. I had to. My dad made me. So I'm at a light. I'm in my parents' Honda, and I'm at a red light, and the car next to me starts honking, and this super big dude, like not big, like tall, but like swole, right?
Yeah.
He does his window down, and he's like, hey, and I look over, and I'm like, what's up? And he goes, you think you can hide from me?
Oh, geez.
And I was like, what are you talking about? He goes, you think just because you cut your hair, you could hide from me? You think I wouldn't recognize you?
Oh, geez.
And I was like, bro, I have no idea what you're talking about right now.
But had you just cut your hair?
Ironically,
because you used to have super long hair.
No, this was like when I used to shave my head, right? So it was like coming up on the weekend, I got me a fresh fade and everything, right? Feeling good. About to go to summer school class.
In the evening.
In the evening. So, bro, at the red light, I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about. And he goes, you don't remember me from the other day. You think you can hide? And I was like, honestly, I don't know what you're talking about. And he was with his girlfriend, right?
Yeah.
And he follows me to a plaza because I'm like, I have no idea what to do right now. This guy won't leave me alone, right?
Yeah.
And I stop at this plaza, which is like directly across the street from where my friend lived, where I was going to pick them up from.
Yeah.
And the guy gets out of the car. I get out of the car. And in my mind, I'm like, if it's going to go down, it's going to go down.
Yeah.
Like, I can't avoid it. I have to defend myself.
do it.
Right?
Yeah.
So this guy grabs me by my shirt, by my collar, and pushes me up against a store window. And he was like, you ripped me off. The other night was unfair. You think you can hide from me by getting another car and getting another haircut? And I was like, honestly, man, I have no idea what you're talking about. I don't know anything about no money. I don't know anything about no switch cars. I don't know anything about ripping you off. And I don't know how this happened, but this is summertime. This sounds like it was a movie. A teacher from my high school was walking by at the exact same time.
Snap.
And like came over and was like, yo, are you okay? And I was like, yeah, I have no idea what's happening right now.
Yeah.
Like, I can try to explain and have this guy try to explain. And then the guy was explaining the story to my teacher. And my teacher was like, honestly, you probably have the wrong person.
So who did he think you were?
I have no idea. He was in
Just some guy that ripped him off or whatever.
And he thought that I was that guy.
Yeah.
So he just let you go and was like, okay, bye.
So how many years ago is this now?
20.
Okay, so enough time has gone by. You could admit, though, you were the guy that ripped that guy off.
No, I swear. No, it wasn't me. It wasn't me, I promise. I have no idea. And like, for the rest of the day, I was like, I don't know what the hell was going on.
Yeah.
But at that point,
those moments are weird. They're tough.
It was very weird.
So, you don't have nothing to say. You don't know how to, because you shouldn't have to talk yourself out of one of those situations ever. Nobody prepares you for the time that somebody's going to think that you're somebody that stole from them, but you're not actually the person that stole from them.
Yeah.
There's no sort of life lesson that you get from your dad passed down. Okay, if any moment when you're mistaken for somebody who's a drug dealer and ripped somebody off or sold them bad stuff, here's how you get out of that situation.
Yeah.
Like, our fathers don't teach us that.
The only thing I knew in that moment is that fists were going to start flying and I had to defend myself. And looking at the guy, I knew I was going to get my ass kicked if it came down to that.
What if you just started crying?
And the only thing that I could have done was try my absolute best to throw fists and to defend myself the best I could.
Why don't you take Maury's advice? And what happens if you just start crying?
That wasn't an option.
It's not an option for you?
No, that's not an option.
Well,
No.
Keep that one with you, though. Keep that one with you. You never know. You might need that one.
Okay, let's see here.
Vivi Ann writes, if your spouse or partner has amnesia and the last memory is from before she even met you, would you try to make him or her fall in love with you again, or let him and her go and move on?
Move on.
Oh!
No! Really?
Because do you know that's a lot of work to try and re-love someone.
Oh, God.
But you already love Matthew.
Oh,
you say that you love
obviously.
Matthew. Right?
I wear the
say.
ring. Like, I mean, I put forth the
so
effort.
So Matthew has amnesia and then meets you and says, hi, I'm Matthew.
No. Matthew, gets into an accident. He falls down a flight of stairs or off a stepladder.
Right, Maury pushes him.
Yeah. Okay. And
Maury's wearing the invisibility clothes.
Yes.
Sneaks up behind Matthew.
Yes.
Pushes him.
Yes.
He goes tumbling down the stairs.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
All right, cool.
Okay.
Gotcha.
So, yes. So Yeah. So then Matthew gets amnesia. So Matthew's in the hospital with amnesia. Okay. And he opens his eyes and Maury's sitting there and Matthew goes, "Who are you?" It's at that moment where Maury goes, "Oh my God, I'm your husband, Maury." Or Maury goes, "Yeah, cool." And then just gets up and walks out.
No, the room, we're like, "Oh man, I got the wrong room."
Yeah.
Aren't you Tony?
Yeah. So would you do everything you could to make your partner re-fall in love with you
It's
again?
a lot of work.
Yes, is my answer
answer
yes,
is
100%.
definitely yes. I would for sure.
I mean,
for
I
sure
tried
do it.
when I tried wooing Matthew at the very beginning. I would cook dinner. I bought flour. I mean, that's all. I mean, to go through all that again.
Now you're lazy too.
I know.
Like at least then you put in the effort. Yeah. No, I absolutely would. I can't imagine my life without Catherine.
And plus, you could change like your whole past because they would never remember. Why?
You have so many
Everything
secrets.
is so deceptive.
Because it's like a clean slate.
Right. Everything is so deceptive. That's when you try and convince your amnesiaed husband that you actually get paid to go on Craigslist and look at ads for other guys. Honey, this is my job. You knew this. You knew this when you married me. This is how I get at. This is me. I'm at work right now. This I know it's in the house and everything else. This is my office. Get into my office.
You used to be my biggest supporter.
Yeah.
You encouraged this.
Yes, you would send me links, and we would. This is how I. Listen, just go do your thing, okay? I'm gonna make the money for the household here. click.
Oh my God! Every week on Instagram, you'll see Ask Roz and Mocha.
And you know
as the
I get
picture.
a bonus when I actually get them to meet me, right? That's how I earn my bonuses, right?
Feel free to ask all the questions that you want, as ridiculous as you know, as they may be. Then we'll try to get through every single one of them.
Go into your closet and count your shirts. Every single one of those shirts was paid for by one of these ads.
At Kiss925. Thank you for listening to the Roz and Mocha Show podcast. Don't forget, share the podcast with everyone that you know and leave a rating and or review on Apple Podcasts. And we'll try to read your review on the next episode of the Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Thanks for listening to the Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Powered by Air Transat. Catch the guys live
Weekday mornings from 6 to 10.
on Kiss 92.5
Kiss925.com.
or download the Kiss 92.5 app.